Prehistoric. Prehistoric architecture covers the earliest constructions made by humans before the advent of written records. Early shelters, rock-cut dwellings, and simple stone circles were created using locally sourced materials like wood, stone, and animal hides. These structures, although rudimentary, reveal our ancestors' resourcefulness and their initial attempts to create habitable spaces in a challenging environment. Archaeological sites such as Göbekli Tepe show that even in prehistoric times, communities gathered to build ceremonial complexes, hinting at the social and ritual importance of architecture. Ancient Egyptian. Ancient Egyptian architecture is defined by its monumental scale and precision. The construction of pyramids, such as those at Giza, and massive temples like Karnak, required advanced engineering techniques and vast labor forces. Built from large stone blocks, these structures were carefully aligned with celestial events, underscoring the Egyptians' religious and cultural beliefs. Hieroglyphics, carvings, and intricate reliefs adorn these monuments, serving both a decorative and communicative purpose. The legacy of pharaohs is etched into these timeless constructions, which continue to be studied for their technical mastery and symbolic significance. Ancient Greek. Ancient Greek architecture laid the foundation for Western design with its focus on proportion, symmetry, and balance. The use of columns in the three classical orders, Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian, exemplifies a rigorous approach to aesthetics and function. The Parthenon, as a prime example, demonstrates how careful mathematical ratios and precise craftsmanship create a structure that is both beautiful and enduring. Greek temples and public buildings were designed to foster civic pride and cultural identity, influencing architectural thought for millennia. Roman architecture advanced many of the ideals of Greek design while introducing innovative techniques. The widespread use of arches, vaults, and concrete allowed Romans to build expansive structures like the Colosseum, aqueducts, and public baths. These buildings were constructed not only for grandeur, but also for practicality, serving the needs of a growing empire. The Pantheon, with its large dome and oculus, remains one of the best preserved examples of Roman ingenuity, showcasing a blend of aesthetic appeal and engineering prowess that set the stage for future developments. Byzantine architecture evolved from Roman traditions while incorporating Eastern artistic influences. This style is best represented by structures such as Hagia Sophia, which combine massive domes with extensive mosaics and intricate decorative details. Byzantine buildings were designed to serve both religious and imperial functions, often featuring elaborate iconography that communicated spiritual themes and the power of the state. The use of rich materials and a complex spatial arrangement created interiors that were as much about visual impact as they were about function. Romanesque architecture emerged in medieval Europe following the fall of the Roman Empire. It is characterized by thick, heavy walls, rounded arches, and small windows that create dim, fortified interiors. This style was primarily used for churches, monasteries, and castles, reflecting the need for security and stability during turbulent times. Notable examples, such as the Abbey Church of Sainte-Foy, demonstrate how Romanesque design emphasizes durability and simplicity, creating structures that convey strength and resilience. Gothic architecture introduced revolutionary structural elements, such as pointed arches, ribbed vaults, and flying buttresses, which allowed for the creation of taller, more light-filled buildings. Cathedrals like Notre Dame de Paris and Chartres Cathedral are renowned for their intricate stained glass windows, which fill interior spaces with colored light. Gothic design aimed to inspire awe and elevate the human spirit through verticality and light, and its innovations in structural engineering paved the way for future advances in building technology. Renaissance The Renaissance marked a revival of classical ideals infused with a new emphasis on humanism and proportion. Architects such as Brunelleschi and Palladio reinterpreted ancient Greek and Roman forms, creating structures that balanced form and function. Buildings from this era, like the Florence Cathedral Dome and the Villa Rotonda, are celebrated for their symmetry, clarity, and precise geometry. Renaissance architecture represents a turning point in design, where art, science, and culture converged to create buildings that embodied the spirit of renewal and intellectual pursuit. Mannerism. Mannerism developed as a reaction against the harmonious ideals of the High Renaissance, introducing deliberate complexity and artistic exaggeration. This style features elongated proportions, unusual spatial compositions, and elements that deliberately depart from strict symmetry. Mannerist architects like Giulio Romano created designs that are sophisticated and sometimes puzzling, inviting viewers to engage with the architecture on a deeper, more interpretive level. It represents a bridge between the Renaissance's order and the emerging complexity of modern art. Baroque. Baroque architecture is known for its dramatic impact, characterized by sweeping curves, elaborate ornamentation, and bold contrasts of light and shadow. Palaces and churches from this period, such as those found in Versailles or St. Peter's Basilica, were built to impress and communicate the power and grandeur of their patrons. Baroque design integrates movement and emotion into its forms, using dynamic compositions and intricate details to create visually striking and memorable spaces. Rococo. Rococo architecture offers a refined, playful alternative to the grandeur of Baroque, marked by its ornate asymmetrical details, pastel color palettes, and delicate curves. Rococo style is most often associated with the interiors of aristocratic residences. It emphasizes decorative finesse and a sense of light-hearted elegance, creating spaces that are both charming and intricately detailed. The style captures the refined tastes of its time, while providing a contrast to the more imposing forms of its predecessors. Neoclassical. Neoclassical architecture revives the simplicity and order of classical antiquity, focusing on clean lines, balanced proportions, and minimal ornamentation. This style gained popularity during the Enlightenment, influencing the design of governmental buildings, monuments, and public institutions. Structures such as the White House in the United States or the British Museum in London reflect neoclassical principles, emphasizing rationality, civic virtue, and a return to the ideals of ancient Greece and Rome. Victorian. Victorian architecture is an umbrella term for a variety of revival styles that emerged during Queen Victoria's reign. This period is noted for its eclectic mix of Gothic revival, Italianate, Queen Anne, and other influences. Victorian buildings often feature intricate facades, asymmetrical designs, and a blend of decorative elements that mirror the industrial age's technological progress and social change. The style is both ornate and diverse, capturing a spirit of innovation and the ornate tastes of the era. Art Nouveau. Art Nouveau represents a break from historical styles through its emphasis on organic forms and decorative motifs inspired by nature. Architects like Antoni Gaudí in Spain and Hector Guimard in France embraced curvilinear designs, intricate ironwork, and flowing lines that suggest natural movement. This style seeks to harmonize art with everyday life, resulting in buildings that combine aesthetic innovation with functional design, and it remains influential in decorative arts as well as architecture. Modernism. Modernism, particularly the international style, advocates for functional design with minimal ornamentation. Clean lines, open floor plans, and the use of modern materials such as glass, steel, and concrete define this movement. Architects like Le Corbusier and Mies van der Rohe sought to create efficient, rational spaces that reflected the industrial age's emphasis on progress. Modernist buildings are designed with simplicity and functionality in mind, and their influence is seen in urban landscapes around the world. Bauhaus. The Bauhaus movement redefined design by merging art, craft, and technology into a cohesive, utilitarian approach. Founded by Walter Gropius, Bauhaus principles emphasize geometric simplicity, functionality, and the use of modern materials. Its influence extends beyond architecture into product design, graphic arts, and everyday objects, shaping a generation of design that values clarity and efficiency over decorative excess. Brutalism. Brutalist architecture is characterized by its use of raw, exposed materials, most notably concrete, and bold geometric forms. This style emerged as a subset of modernism, focusing on functionality and honesty in construction. Brutalist buildings, such as those seen in many university campuses and government complexes, are designed to be robust and enduring. While often polarizing, brutalism makes a strong visual statement and is valued for its uncompromising, utilitarian aesthetic. Postmodernism. Postmodern architecture emerged as a reaction against the stark minimalism of modernism, reintroducing color, historical references, and decorative details. Architects such as Robert Venturi and Michael Graves mixed elements from different eras, often with a touch of humor and irony, to create eclectic and visually engaging buildings. This style embraces complexity and contradiction, inviting viewers to appreciate a diversity of forms and ideas that challenge traditional architectural boundaries. Deconstructivism. Deconstructivist architecture challenges conventional ideas of structure and order by intentionally fragmenting and disassembling traditional forms. Pioneered by architects like Frank Gehry and Zaha Hadid, this style features nonlinear, disjointed shapes and unpredictable angles that appear to disrupt continuity. Deconstructivism invites a new way of experiencing space and structure, emphasizing artistic expression over predictable geometry and encouraging viewers to question the stability of the built environment. Contemporary. Contemporary architecture reflects the latest advancements in design and technology with a strong focus on sustainability. This style incorporates innovative materials, energy-efficient technologies, and adaptable, open spaces that respond to modern needs. Buildings often feature green roofs, solar panels, and natural ventilation systems to minimize environmental impact. Contemporary designs aim to balance aesthetic innovation with practical functionality, addressing the challenges of urban living in a rapidly changing world. Scandinavian. Scandinavian architecture is known for its minimalist aesthetic, clean lines, and emphasis on natural light. Originating in the Nordic countries, this style utilizes simple forms and sustainable materials to create functional, inviting spaces that are well suited to harsh climates. The design ethos values practicality, affordability, and elegance, resulting in interiors and exteriors that are both timeless and deeply connected to nature. High-tech. High-tech architecture, also known as structural expressionism, celebrates the visibility of a building's structural and mechanical systems. This style uses modern materials, such as glass and steel, to create designs that highlight the technology behind the construction. Architects like Norman Foster and Richard Rogers incorporate elements like exposed frameworks and transparent facades, resulting in buildings that not only serve functional purposes, but also act as showcases for contemporary engineering and design. Expressionist. Expressionist architecture emerged in the early 20th century as a means of conveying emotion and individual creativity through form. Marked by unconventional shapes, distorted forms, and dramatic contrasts, this style is designed to evoke an emotional response rather than simply serve a functional purpose. Buildings like the Einstein Tower in Germany illustrate how expressionist designs challenge traditional aesthetics and invite viewers to see architecture as a powerful medium for artistic expression. Neofuturism. Neofuturism envisions a future where architecture integrates advanced technology, dynamic forms, and sustainable practices. This style is characterized by fluid, organic shapes and the use of innovative materials that reflect modern engineering capabilities. Neo-futurist designs often incorporate elements that adapt to environmental conditions, such as responsive facades or energy-efficient systems, offering a forward-looking vision that balances aesthetics with functionality and environmental responsibility. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, then be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this.